What's good, y'all? It's your boy Wiz here with my beautiful co-host Krista. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Excited to be here with you, Devin.
I am so excited. Today's show is going to be something serious, something amazing. We have a very special guest, Alexis A. Littlejohn. Her road to her success, everything she's been through. But like normal, y'all, we a scripture-led show. You know what I'm saying? It's destined for greatness. So Krista, start us off with a scripture like you normally do.
All right. So today, Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. So what we're going to talk about today, as Alexis goes over her book, is just trusting in the Lord and understanding that his plans for you are to prosper. His plans are not to harm you. So sometimes we may work on something and it may not go the way we want, but knowing that you put your life in God's hands, trust that everything is working out for your good. And once you get in line, things will just start to fall in place. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And we just want to encourage you. If you have anything to talk about, please contact us as well. If you have a testimony or if you'd like to be featured on our show.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And like, I'm going to bring you back right now, but I definitely got to bring on our guest right now. So I'm going to have you go to the back, write down some good notes. And at the end, guys, we're going to have a Q&A for Alexis so we can talk about her book, any questions that you got as well. So stay tuned. All right, Krista, I'm going to see you in a minute. All right.
All right.
All right. Hey, how you doing? Peace. How you doing? So thank you for being on my platform. It's amazing to have you here. It was all an idea and a thought, and here you are.
Thank you. I'm very encouraged. I'm very excited.
I'm excited for you. So, first of all, I think it's best for you to introduce yourself because you know yourself better than anybody knows you. So please introduce yourself to all the fans out there.
Yes, peace and blessings. My name is Alexis Littlejohn. I am in the greater Lansing area and a native of Lansing. 2 kids, single mom, and I am here to share my testimony.
All right, and the testimony that's exactly what this is, a testimony. So what led you to write a book right now during the pandemic and everything that's going on in life right now? What made you want to sit down and write a book about your life and some of the things you can do to help others?
Great question. So this was birthed a couple years ago. I just didn't sit down and get busy. So I utilized the opportunity to be at home through COVID to really sit down and birth the vision. I say about a couple years ago, like God really put it on my heart. And immediately I wanted to do a book that had a cover with an old exotic dancing photo and a photo kind of new that shows professionalism. But that was to pull the reader in. And automatically I had the idea of the title. I was like, okay, switching stages. And that the cover is very, very, oh my gosh, but it's not necessarily switching this type of stage. It's switching stages from an impoverished mentality. So for me, it was really, really easy. Like I knew what I wanted to do. And like I had mentioned, God put it on my heart. So it was there the whole time. I just had to sit down and get serious. So even though in the midst of the pandemic, it gave me the opportunity to be at home, locked in the house, mandated to really sit down and get serious and birth the vision that was in my heart. So, it was really, really interesting writing it too. And then the way it came about, the chapters came immediately. Like once the vision was plain, write the vision, make it plain. There's 4 chapters. I added the 5th chapter, but the chapters are the breaking, the healing, the wilderness, and the redemption. And I really, really specifically talk about different seasons I went through in my life and highlight them. And they ended up being chapters in the book. So it was really dope.
So speak on a chapter you said that was interesting, the breaking. What exactly is that one about?
So the breaking is the first chapter in the book, and it really talks about different things, different circumstances that I encountered, some poor choices that I made with some heavy consequences, and I had to take accountability and do some deep introspection and be responsible with my ability to respond to get myself out of those circumstances, in addition with the grace of God. and really, really, really plowing and maneuvering and pivoting through some things that could have really, really broke me down. It really broke my spirit. And the breaking details different things that we don't necessarily talk about in the Black community or the Black church sector. And those are some pretty heavy topics that we can dive into.
Okay, exactly. This is a good segue into this. Before I spoke to you, you said you had some anxiety right before a little bit. Then I see you now and you seem calm. Can you share kind of what your process of what you did to calm yourself before the show? You know, because I talked to you and you're in a different spirit, and that's something that people need to learn how to do, though. So, if there's something that you practice to kind of calm yourself down, can you share that with me as well?
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm actually very calm right now. I'm very calm. I'm very centered. I'm very balanced. I'm very even keeled. And it's important because I want for this message to get to who it's supposed to get to. And I had to make time to take care of myself. We have to be intentional about taking time to take care of ourselves. So we all have personal lives. We all have multiple roles. We have relationships. We have families. We have responsibilities. We have tasks. We have duties. But at the end of the day, we also have ourselves. So I purposely chose to go get something to eat. I purposely chose to take a bath. I purposely chose to lotion myself. I purposely chose to pray. I purposely chose to meditate. I purposely chose to say affirmations. I am well. I am whole. I am balanced. I am sound. I am healed. And really be in the moment and breathe so I can get regulated and be centered and be calm and be effective and be efficient. And it's so important to take that time to be still in the midst of everything.
Really good information there, because the reason why I asked you is because I know people deal with anxiety and it can lead to different emotions that they may not want to display, um, like anger or different things or frustration. So to be able to handle it when you feel it, I just wanted to point out that I did notice the change, and that's what's up. Back to the subject at hand. I also know that you are you do music as well.
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't even know I could do music. In my youth, we used to do little rap battles and things of that nature, but
Yeah.
really taking it seriously. I've always had a talent for writing. Poetry is a little bit easier and more comfortable, but music, yeah, I don't sing. I don't even do karaoke, but a little bit of rap. I am gifted in that area, and I like to keep it classy. I'm still fine tuning it, but yeah, I can do it. I enjoy it. It's been a healthy outlet for me, and it started a couple years ago, actually 10 years ago. Jay Chase, who's a friend of mine, who
That's my
introduced
guy
me to my
right
book.
there.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's an awesome
Yeah.
person.
Yes, he is.
Him and I have really good chemistry. We're the same sign, and he's just very, very calm and very, very inviting. So his energy allowed me to really, really develop, because it used to be really silly when I go to the studio with him. It was just so embarrassing. But now I'm more comfortable, more confident, and like the production is a lot better.
Hey y'all, she didn't even know that Woods made beats, so I'm gonna have to hold her down. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to send her some of these Woods work beats right now. Let her know that I get down too. You know what I'm saying? But so when is your expected release date for your book?
Actually, I did release my book. My website is being built right now. There's a few
Okay.
kinks, but everything's okay. So I took pre-orders a couple weeks ago. I sold a lot of copies. I'm really, really proud. And what I'm doing right now is kind of like allowing people to go to Amazon and check it out if they want to. So I'm probably going to take another batch of pre-orders this upcoming week, and then we'll go from there. So I wanted to do a book
Awesome.
signing. Thank you. But of course, the way that things are with COVID, we need to be safe because it's real out here. And so just maneuvering, just really, really maneuvering. So getting out here, talking about the book right now through this podcast is allowing for other people to, be informed about it. So I'm encouraged. So if people want to go right now, they can go to Amazon and purchase.
Okay, okay. So back to it. Let's get to some of the topics that you're speaking on it.
Mhm.
Through your life, tell us about some of the hardships that you had that led you to the point that you wanted to just absolutely sometimes maybe give up or just know that it was time for change. Like, what are some of the things that happened to you where you know they're almost to your breaking point?
Well, I'll talk about one of the things that is probably the most difficult for me is school, college specifically. Not everybody has the same support network. I just want to say that when we think about impoverished or poverty, we think finances, but we don't think about people. We don't think about support. Not everyone has a large family structure. And even those that have a large family structure, they might not have intimate, close, healthy, positive relationships. So I say that to say, for me, school was a really difficult challenge because I didn't have a lot of people that I wanted. I had good people that were helping me and praying with me. But when you go to school, you're there doing the assignments. You're there doing the tests. You're there, taking the bus, faxing papers, turning things in. Like, you really have to separate yourself and make time to do homework, to study. You can't go to the club when everyone else is
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get into.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so what about that? Like, when you went through those changes, what about your friends? What happened with your situation with your friends and family that you might have been hanging out with, turning up with, that you're like, I'm on this new path. Did you have to change them? Did they understand?
What I will say is I had to make a decision what I wanted for my life. So for me, going to the club and getting turned up and getting wasted, that wasn't going to be a suitable or viable option for me to get the best GPA I wanted and or have the best mindset and the best image and be the best Alexis that I can be. So I had to kind of like put a halt to those behaviors and simmer down and make an active choice to be like, okay, look, I probably shouldn't be doing these things as a mom now. And if I want to go back to school and have a wholesome image and just recreate myself and be who I want to be. So certain friends understood, others still wanted to do what they wanted to do. And I couldn't do that and be a good, wholesome mother and person and student and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I had to make a decision to kind of pull back from certain people. But I did have friends that still support me, who are still friends to this day, that encouraged me, that stood by my side and watched me develop and didn't judge me or think I was being funny. Because I never want to look at anybody from an eye of judgment or superiority.
Yeah.
However, I have to be careful and make sure I'm making decisions for me. So some people I kind of cut back from. Some people I just, had to just say thanks altogether and had to make that choice for me. And then other people too, they still stood by my side. So you have to make the decision. One needs to make a decision that's beneficial for their life, for the consequences, the outcomes they want. We can still have great, healthy outings without drinking, without drugging, without getting, wasted, without, turning up or risking things. So I also had to find the fine line of what was healthy, what was positive, what was safe, because I didn't want to just be so isolated where it's just school, church, work. That's not healthy.
And that's kind of, I can be honest and be transparent. That's kind of where I am right now, is trying to find that part of the balance, is the newness, right? Yeah. I have to have new friends. I got to have new places to hang out at. I got to be new. So that brings a lot of loneliness. It brings a lot of confusion. It makes me wonder, like, why are my homeboys hitting me up? Well, duh, you ain't doing the same things to them no more. Yeah. And I know they still love me. I think it's out of respect, but it still puts me in a place of loneliness. You know what I'm saying? That I'm making these changes, and but so what I did, I get lost into this podcast. So what I've done is getting going into my journalist. I found a new passion that's keeping me healthy. And that's what I think that's really important for people to do, is find, if you're trying to make changes, not only change the people, change your activities. Find things that are taking up the idle time so you don't have an idle mind.
And I like hearing you say that you got lost in the podcast, because you're not lost. You're doing what's sustaining your spirit. And I think that's so beautiful, because what I experienced too, the loneliness, it's not that I'm alone. I'm isolated, but I'm being incubated. And we need that time to redefine and discover who we are. And I'm just so proud of myself for taking that step and giving myself the liberty to let go and to see what else is out there and things come into alignment. It's such a beautiful thing.
It's such a beautiful thing. It's like, you're very inspirational. How I even followed you is through being inspired by you. It doesn't, no matter what you go through, you try to keep a smile on your face and spread that to others. So that's why I wanted to have you on here. I want people that are destined for greatness, right? And you're definitely destined to be great. And so I want you to speak on, if you could for me, some of your plans, your coming up plans with your book. Like, since you say you can't do a book signing, are you planning on doing anything for, like, you can probably do something virtual, that'll be a big deal.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think about it. I'm just going to allow whatever's meant to happen. I'm encouraged.
Yes, ma'am.
I know that, the work it took to sit down and get centered and really plow and really take accountability to like really fix some things in my life and release some behaviors that didn't serve me. I just want to make sure that this is spirit led because somebody's
Yeah.
going to get changed behind that. That's not even for me. The book was more so for my healing. It was never about making money. However, if I can sell it and make a monetary gain, that's great. But this is more so for people to see that you too can change. This isn't an attack on anybody in the exotic industry. This isn't an attack on somebody who's doing adult entertainment. This is more so saying, hey, this is where I was. This wasn't suitable for me. And this is what I did to get to the next step. So, as far as like a virtual hosting or something of that nature, I didn't think about it, but I did want to share a couple of different pages from the book just to give the
Please
readers
do. I
an
would love for you
idea.
to do that. Please, I
Yeah,
wanted you to do that.
yeah, no doubt. And there's a couple people that have the book, so if anybody's watching that has got it, I would love to hear your opinion on it. But there's two pages in particular, page 83 and page 106. And as I mentioned, there were four chapters originally. It was the breaking, the healing, the wilderness, and the redemption. But I added a fifth chapter called You, Y-O-U. And I'm speaking specifically to the reader in positive present tense disposition. You are loved. You are valuable. You are enough. Because a lot of times we think about ourselves from a place of lack. And that internal dialogue is very important because that's the voice we hear when no one else is speaking if we're not paying attention with the voice within. So it's really important. But this is chapter U, and I'm just going to read this first page. My friend, sister, neighbor, even my foes. You have the power to move mountains, so tell them to move. You are capable of receiving and manifesting every good thing life has to offer. Simply desire it and work towards it intentionally. I want you to know that you are loved and your life has purpose. You have been called and have a divine destiny to fulfill with your very own life creating this tapestry. Each day is a stroke of the brush. Each thought is as riveting as the painting. Make them. Mold your thoughts and speak life over yourself. Encourage yourself through the storm. Recognize unhealthy thought patterns. Challenge maladaptive and negative thoughts by questioning them and their legitimacy. Actively speak life over everything. Begin to place yourself directly in opposition of thought patterns that currently serve you to strengthen your intellectual abilities. Question whether or not an opposing opinion is, in actuality, a threat or merely a different idea than yours. Ask yourself, why do I even bother? Begin to learn to regulate your response with emotional change. Emotional intelligence is the goal. Be sound in thought, mind, body, and spirit. This can be done and you can do it.
Wow. That
Yeah.
that was powerful right there. Thank you for sharing that right there. That was some
Yes, you're
powerful
welcome.
information.
Yeah, you're welcome. And thank you. And for me, reading this for me is so important because it reinforces and solidifies that you matter just as you are, how you are. You don't have to go further, higher, deeper. Right where you are enough. You are loved. You are valuable. You are everything that someone is waiting
Tell
to
them
be.
again, sister. I'm telling you right there.
Yes. So it's
Yes.
very encouraging for people to know that. So I just, and it's just amazing, Devin, the way things manifest and unfold. Because when I added this fifth chapter, I took each letter from each chapter, the breaking, the healing, the wilderness, the you, and the redemption, and I arranged them and made an acronym. And I said, oh,
What is it right now? I want to hear it.
be real while you heal. Let's go.
Let's go. We gotta get that on a t-shirt or something, y'all. Hey, what my people that's
Yes,
making shirts out there? We gotta put that on something. Say that one
yes,
more time for the people. Say it one more time.
yes. Be real while you heal. And the website is coming, t-shirts are coming, stationery is coming, but be real while you heal. And it's amazing because it was already done. I just had to come into
Yeah.
alignment and sit still. So, it's really important. And again, you is dedicated to you. So when the reader reads it, they're going to get what they're looking for. If somebody's
Yes.
looking for tea, they're going to get tea out of the book. But if someone wants healing, wants to journey, wants to release, wants to dig, wants to plow, wants to heal, they're going to do that. And I'm encouraged to hear that testimony because this is what this is about. People need to know how to heal. What does their healing look like? They need to know how to explore, how to discover, how to understand themselves. And it's really important because that self-awareness to even know is the first step.
Very much so. So, question. During your healing process, did you have anybody in particular, a support system that was there for you, a team of people that you could call on?
Yeah, I did. And it's been a long time coming. I mean, this is like a decade in the making. I mean, I've had a lot of people that have been like godly placed in my life in all walks, in and out of the church, let that be said. So there have been very, very, very solid, sound, strong, divine individuals in my life. My family, first and foremost. I'm very thankful for my mom, my stepdad, my dad, my support system with my family.
Amen.
In
Amen.
addition to Tabernacle of David, shout out to Tabernacle of David, Pastor Larry Mitchell Trice Jr. Him and his wife, they were a wealth of knowledge over the years. In the congregation, I met very beautiful people who assisted me along my journey. And just depending upon where I was, an individual who's been an awesome, awesome, awesome reinforcement figure to me, Professor Kyron Harvell. He's like the brother I never had. A general. Shout out to him. He's one of my professors from Siena Heights University. So just depending upon where I was in my life, whether it be a restaurant or the strip club or college or church, depending upon the year and the stage I switched, people were divinely placed in my life to plant a word or to water me. And it just helped develop me into the woman I'm becoming.
And what a woman you have become. So what I want to do, I mean, what I'm saying, I want to get into your music video right now.
Okay.
Just so people, we have a nice amount of viewers. I like them to tap into kind of where you are. The song is called Broken Road. It's a song, she has newer records. This is the record that, to me, it definitely touched me the most. So I would like to share it. Is that okay with you?
Yes, thank you.
All right, no problem. So, hey, y'all, without further ado, Broken Road.
I love you. I just love me more. I'm sorry. I just can't take this broken road.
I had to let you go, 'cause I really need to know which way that I should go. I can't take this broken road. I had to let you go, 'cause I really need to know which way that I should go. I can't take this broken road.
What did I ever do to make you feel this type of way? I had to walk away 'cause you kept your hands on my face. We never had no kids, I think it's for the best. Sometimes I think God gave me to you as a strength test. I was dancing for dollars, you never pulled me out. Sometimes I look back to shake my head and hold my mouth. Even when you fell off, I helped you pay the bills, helped you get your re-ups. We wasn't missing meals, I swallowed all my feelings, encased all my emotions. We had some good times, what should have been our focus. Sometimes you come home drunk, I'll be waiting up on the couch. Eyes be bloodshot, I smell the Jose Cuervo on your mouth. Never forget the time you almost nearly choked me out. Not knowing that should have been the only time I put you out. I still called you my spouse, I even claimed you dearly. Sticking by your side, letting no others near me. I know you love my daughter, I couldn't let her see. Mommy with swollen eyes, mommy with busted teeth. You begged me please to stay, then took the trip to Florida. That winter got real cold, needed you to heat my water. Both Scorpios, the passion would explode. We both had green eyes, it's as if you were chose. My soul overtaken, my destiny awaits. Can't jeopardize my livelihood, but maybe it's fate. Fate turned into fake, I caught myself slipping. Heard my mama's voice say, baby, trust your intuition. You was dead wrong, and now I'm dead gone. And now it's bygones, my love still lives on, but not with you.
I had to let you go, 'cause I really need to know which way that I should go. I can't take this broken road. I had to let you go, 'cause I really need to know which way that I should go. I can't take this broken road. which way that I should go. I can't take this broken road. I had to let you go, 'cause I really need to know which way that I should go. I can't take this broken road. Oh yeah, yeah. Can't take this broken road. Oh, yeah. Can't take this broken road.
Okay, that's what's up. Now you know that. Now you know that song fire.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Alfred.
Oh, let me take it.
Yeah, shout out to Alfred. Alfred P. Singleton III, amazing artist, and Crackalack on the track.
Oh, Crackalack, man, Crackalack's doing his thing right now, man.
Yes,
I'm telling you, man, he's mad inspiration to watch his whole progress and watch him grow. That is something amazing.
Yes. Also, Young Heat, very talented. Demarnio.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what's up. But yeah, I just had to share to let people know that you are extremely talented, and I thank you so much for even coming on this platform. Now, if you have any questions for me?
What questions do I have for you? When did you feel it in your spirit to make the change and got the calling to know that what you were doing wasn't working and you had to take action?
Okay. What happened with me was, for one, I was in a place where I knew I was better than the place that I was at, right? And I said, what is the common denominator that's keeping me in this position? Drinking. It made me, I never pretty much got any bad reputation from anybody. I have a pretty great reputation, but if drinking involved, things could change. Health got involved. I got ulcers. And then I just looked up and said, it's not worth it. And then God touched me and was like, look, I have things that you have to do. You have a calling on your life, son, and I touched you and I can't lie. I promise that these things will happen, but I need you to be healthy. So get healthy and watch things prosper. All I did was just get healthy and things happen. I'm no different than nobody else, no better than nobody else. I just chose to listen to the voice when it called me and actually make movement on the voice.
That's beautiful. When you say the voice for you, where did your experience take place? I want to share one more page of this.
Oh, yeah, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because when you had this experience, everyone has their own personal experience, their personal way. Some people hear God audibly. Some people hear what they call God in nature. How did your experience touch you, and how did it happen? How did you know that this was God saying, look, let's get busy, son, let's work? How did you know without a shadow of a doubt that it was God?
Because it was something that I did not want to do personally. I personally didn't want to stop, but I knew I had to stop. Like, you know, it was beyond me. Like what Devin wanted to do was no more important. It was about what God wanted me to do. Because like Devin wanted to go out and have that drink again. I wanted to go out to that club with my homies. I wanted to do all of that stuff, but he was like, if you do it, things are going to remain the same, and you said you want different. Try me for a change. You tried it that way. Look where it led you. Try it my way. That's all I'm asking you to do, son. Just try it. I tried day one. I made a post. Day one, sober life. Got some love. I put day two. I did it for 7 days, and I kind of stopped because I was kind of embarrassed. And then I had a support system. And then God was like, look, Devin, you have something that you have to do that is not up to nobody else but you. I put a show on you called Destined for Greatness, and you're going to bring people on this show that has testimonies that you can give and bridge this gap that we're having within our community of people not growing and staying complacent and in the same place. It was a plan. It wasn't just a voice. It was a plan that was given to me that I knew I had to execute.
That's beautiful. And you know what I think is amazing? When I heard you say you stopped because you were embarrassed. How can we be embarrassed on the calling of God in our life? Isn't that something? Because I too have had several years, over the years, several years of sobriety. However, what I do notice is whether it's going vegan or extreme working out or whatever it is to where I'm trying to better myself, I'll stop too. And that's interesting. Even though I'll pick up. What do you think that is for you?
I think the stopping for me is we all kind of want to, subconsciously you want to fit in. I feel like, or we don't want to always be the sore thumb that's sticking out, because that we do stick out with the post that you make and the post that I make. And it's kind of like my brother Brian Windham said on the show last time. He said, you know, growing up from where we grew up from, going to church wasn't cool. He was like, so sometimes you kind of hide the fact that you are in that relationship with God, and that's what this new season for. We're breaking that barrier. We're breaking that. We're going to show that God's work, spirituality inside your life works. And then, so that's all we're basically doing to try to break that stigma, because I don't want that to happen to me again. I was very mad at myself, and others were mad at me when I stopped, and I refused to stop this time because I know that's nothing but the enemy.
And I think that's beautiful, because spirituality can work, and we need to each redefine our own personal relationship with who God is, what God is, and allow that relationship to be person-centered, because not everyone has the same relationship or the same worship style, the same praise style, the same rituals. People are different. So I think that for me, in noticing from others, it's okay to have your own unique individual relationship with your higher power. So I think that's so interesting to hear you say that.
Yeah, so we can go into the page that you would like to read. I definitely am interested to hear what you.
Yeah, well, when you said that, I heard you say it was God, and you knew it was him because it was something that you had no desire to do. So
Correct.
it's like, okay. So like, here you go. It's time for you to, surrender, give something up, right?
Yes.
So this is in the chapter Redemption. And it's funny because this is actually a time where I was in my home and the Holy Spirit visited me. And it's interesting because when this happens, it's very private and it's very subtle and it's very intimate. So for me, it's something that is behind closed doors. I'm not saying that this can't come upon me in church or in public or in the library, school, because whatever's going to happen is going to happen. However, this personal engagement at home was beautiful, and it was real, and it was rich, and it was right. And I just want to share this. I thought it was very important. And this is page 106 in chapter Redemption. Redemption came after submission. As I recall, in the fall of 2017, I sat down to use the restroom in my bedroom's bathroom after undressing and was completely nude. I was home alone, and it was mid-afternoon. Also, mind you, I was pregnant. For some reason, I remember rubbing my stomach in a circular motion with both hands, even after I had finished using the restroom. I just sat there. I began to silently cry as I rubbed my belly and felt the tears flowing stronger as I became appreciative in my spirit right at that very moment. I kept rubbing my belly and began to sob, still rubbing my baby in a circular formation on both sides of my stomach in the privacy of my dim-lit bedroom's bathroom alone. I began to feel the Holy Spirit come over me, and I began to speak in tongues. Tears were flowing down my face as I submerged in a full-throttle vocal exchange with the Lord, my God. I never spoke any words, but knew that right there, right then, something supernatural sealed in the spirit realm, and I was going to be okay. We were going to be okay. This exchange lasted for about 10 minutes, and it was real. I knew that the connection made with God through those utterings would manifest for my greater good and his greater glory. It didn't matter how, and it didn't matter when. What mattered was my private interaction and appreciation of my life through recognizing that I was thankful and grateful for it all. Very powerful.
Extremely powerful.
And even goosebumps, this is real. It's real. And when God touches your life, and even when the God within activates and you come into tune with your own divine feminine and masculine essence, you'll know things, you'll perceive things different, you'll attract things different, opportunities will develop. But for me, at home in my bathroom, just sitting there, and it came about and it lasted and it was real and something sealed. And that can happen at any time. So I just want people to know who are viewing this to understand that it doesn't matter how you view yourself or if you feel like you've obtained a level of success. Right now, where you are, you can be used at any point in time. And there's somebody watching you.
Yes.
So just stay encouraged and know that this is a process. There is never going to be a set place of arrival. It's going to be a continuous development of growth across the lifespan. So I really want people to understand that right where you are, how you are right now, you're just as good as you're going to be.
Exactly. And that's what the problem. And also, once you make these changes, don't think that you have to put on a new self, but you don't have to change. Be yourself so people know it's real. Sometimes you don't have to go uppity just because you made changes. Be who you are so people can relate to you. I mean, I'm extremely relatable, and that's why I think people come to me for advice. Is because they feel they can talk to me because I'm still D Woods. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I don't want to be authoritarian and tear things up. I don't want to be superiority. I don't think I'm better than anybody, but I know that I'm better than yesterday, and that's where I want to
Wow.
be. And another
Facts.
thing too, like serving, waitressing really humbled me. It showed me how to serve, have a server heart. So depending upon how I look, if I have makeup on, if I'm in a dress, if I'm in a workout clothes, if I'm at work in the factory, I'm still the same person, and that's how I want to be. Because it's funny how people can treat you depending upon how you look. And
Oh
that's
yeah.
not always fair because once people listen to you, I can be cloaked in work clothes right now, thrift store clothes, head to toe, but I can still greet you and you can hear me and see me.
Yeah, you can
Do you
still hear the
understand?
respect and yes, you can,
Yeah,
and the education, and it's all about how you carry yourself and present yourself, or how people respect you.
yep, yep. But some people don't even know. I mean, let's just be honest. We talked about drinking. We talked about ulcers. For you, for me, trouble. There were certain situations that happened to where I would turn up too much, and there were some heavy consequences behind that.
Me
So,
too.
and there were times to where I didn't know that this Alexis existed. I wasn't aware of this Alexis and her potential and that potential manifesting. It's always there, but it had to be activated. And the isolation that I experienced, which is the loneliness,
Yep.
really allowed me to be like a cocoon. And again, another chapter, the wilderness. I went through the darkest, scariest place. I ain't know I couldn't see anything, but that's where I was planted.
That's what it's called. When you're planting it, that's how God can fertilize and water you. If you didn't do something to grow everything that He has inside of you, you still would be in the same position. So around what age? So when you had your babies, when you actually heard the voice of God. But when did you make this changes? Was that when you made the change?
You know, I was always aware of God. I was raised Christian and came from a good two-parent home, church plays, church choir, all that. Very beautiful childhood. And I said it to say, I was always aware of a higher power. I was always aware that there was a God working for my greater good and that the Holy Spirit was real and things of that nature. As I've developed as a woman and become more open and understanding and acceptable and tolerant of other world customs, and I understand that there's multiple religions, there's multiple spiritual concepts, I've become more aware in my own understanding and what God is to me. So there's been many times where I've seen God work in my life, depending upon where I was. When the gun didn't go off, when the car didn't go through that light, when that chokehold was broke over my neck. So let's just keep it real.
Let's keep it real.
When the case got dismissed. So when I got favor and got hired in, you see what I'm saying? So God has always been evident in my life. It's just whether or not I'm aware and attuned to the workings that are manifesting. So it
Correct.
just depends upon where my heart is too. So it's just interesting. So I have to be mindful of what God working is because I can pray and not specify and see this show up. Thank you, God. But I
Facts.
prayed for this. So it just depends upon where my heart is, if I'm centered and aware and if I'm focused.
And you seem very focused right now. Very, very focused. So
Thank you.
so what are some of your new ventures that you got going on to come up? So we let the people know that's following you. What's on your plate right now, Alexis?
What's on my plate right now? I'm a full-time mom, just to be honest. I have a toddler and I wasn't prepared for boys. So yeah, he's no joke. He'll be 3, but I love him. No, I have a
Awesome.
toddler. I have a toddler. Thank you, and I have a teen. So parenthood, being a mom, is my main focus. Success for me is that my kids love each other. My kids love each other. They
Mine
love each
too.
other. So I just want
Family
to say that
first.
again.
Family
Yeah.
first. I'm telling
So,
you.
so so that's how I measure my success by my family, my home, my children. So first and foremost, that's my main focus. I do work full time at General Motors, so I'm still gainfully employed. However, I'm going to start venturing out with counseling. I've been certified for quite some time now, a little over 2.5 years, but the timing, I've been waiting for it to be right to start seeing clients and actually utilizing my skill set and my knowledge base to help other people heal. So I just got my office, which I'm in
Tell
right
them.
now.
Yeah. Yes.
Favor. And it's amazing. It's an amazing staff. It's an amazing group of people. Everyone fits right in. And I'm
That's
really,
what's
really
up.
excited. So yeah, I have my website being built where people can come book appointments and come see me so we can heal together. So I'm going to start launching that pretty soon. Do that during the evenings and on weekends so that if anyone wants to reach out to me and wants someone that's going to be nurturing, that's going to be person centered, that's going to be honest, and that's going to be professional to help present methods and modalities so that one can heal. I'm available. Um, Other than that, to be honest, Devin, I know I'm going to go back to my PhD. I don't know when, I don't know how, but it's coming. And I'm so encouraged. And, it's about time. I have children that come first. But I'm already thinking about my dissertation. I'm already thinking about how I have to stop saying go blue. Because if I go back to my PhD, it'll be at Michigan State.
Yes. Oh, go blue. Hold on. I should have thought twice about booking this. How much you mean go blue? It's
I
go green over
know.
here all day.
I'm just saying. No, but I'm encouraged. I don't know if it's going to be educational administration. I don't know if it's going to be political science, but I'm going back to my PhD. Let's go. I'm
Hey,
serious.
guess what? I'm going back for my master's.
Do it.
I
Do it.
got to. I'm doing it. The reason why I have to do it, I don't want to go. But the reason why I'm going back is because I'm going back for psychology and counseling. So
Yes.
you have to have a master's degree to
Yes.
be able to. So hey, we on the same path. But right now, in this time of the show, I bring back on my co-host, and we go through a little bit. She has a couple questions she would like to ask you, and then we have our Q&A, and we go from there. So let me bring her back on. What
Okay.
is going on, Krista?
Hi, how's it going? You
It's
guys'
going
show was
good.
great. I was over here clapping.
That's
I was
what's
like,
up.
yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
yes. Um, so if anybody has any questions, please put them in the chat and I'll put them on the screen. So if you have any questions, again, please put them in the chat and I will put them on the screen. When you were talking, one thing that came up when you were talking about that quiet time, and you were talking about the time that you spent alone with the Lord, the scripture came up. So I'm going to read it again. And this is Matthew 16, verse 17. And he is talking to Simon, and he asks Simon, who do you say I am? Or who does everyone say I am? And he tells him all these things. And then he says, who do you say I am? And he says, I say that you are the Son of Man. I'm sorry, the Son of God. You're a man, the Son of God. And Jesus replied, blessed you are, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by flesh and blood, but by my Father in heaven. And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it. And the reason why I wanted to reveal that is because when you talked about that quiet time, God gave you that reassurance. Um, and then he later on confirms by when you were talking about vine just placement, things were just falling in line after he gave you that word. I believe that God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He's always speaking to us, and the words that he gives us are power, and those words he gives us are weapons that we can use against anything that comes up. Was there times where you drew back to that moment where you felt like giving up or you felt like unsure and you just kind of drew back to that moment where God spoke to you?
Specifically, yeah, and to be honest, last week. I mean, I had so many different plans that I wanted to do, and it's so funny. Shout out to Minister Monique Smith. I used to work with her in Kingdom's Kids at Tabernacle of David, and one of the scriptures she planted in my spirit was, many are the plans in the minds of the man, but it is the purpose of the Lord that shall stand. It's Proverbs 19:21. And I referenced that to say, last week I had all these plans about, creating an office in my dining room, working this out, getting this desk, maneuvering this way, getting these painting, need to get primer. Long story short, nothing went the way I anticipated. It worked out a little bit, but I wasn't satisfied. And lo and behold, it ended up being to where God was like, here you go. Here's your fully furnished office at a firm with staff that you already know, that's professional, and you got favor, and here go your keys, and you said happy birthday. So,
Yeah.
and before that happened, though, that midnight hour, I was doubtful. I was stressed.
Mm,
I I was like, you know what? Things didn't go the way I planned, but I asked for patience. Okay, here's the patient test, Alexis. Are you going to cry? Are you going to be complacent? Are you going to be thankful in your spirit? How are you about to act knowing that what you wanted to do didn't work out the way you wanted it to work out? So I had to be careful, engage my response, engage my reaction, and be mindful. So I had to literally walk it out. I had to go outside and walk at the track in the midnight hour and take a deep breath and listen to my affirmations and pray and be real. But I did make a choice to go do some things that could have resulted in a heavy consequence. So just to be honest, the next day, here you go. So if we can just hold on
Hold
in the
on.
middle of the crisis, that's where success is. Being able to gauge yourself in the middle of it all.
Yes, that goes into what you're talking about, that emotional intelligence. That it takes time to develop, and it's something you have to make. What you said this so many times, but making a choice and making it purposely. You said that. You said purposely choosing yourself, purposely making it. It's not always going to be easy, but you have to purposely make that choice. And then you say you speak life, and then you've consulted God, you've given it all to God, and He has confirmed it. And that's what we've been talking about on our show since day one.
Yeah, I like that. And not only that, but trusting yourself, because if God is in you, then you are too a God. And we need to be in our own divine feminine essence, in our own divine masculine essence, and operate as such. Because if I'm in the image of God, why am I not trusting myself? So we can't be so reliant to the point to where we're just paralyzed. We have to be active too and use that discipline and apply that knowledge. So it's just about empowerment, and I'm encouraged, and I like to be around inspirational people. I like to be around people who are motivated, because life gets difficult sometimes. We all need that push. Everybody needs help, no matter how they appear. We all have our own things we're going through. We all have our own traumas. We all have our own individual barriers. So I
Facts.
just want for people to
Facts.
understand that it's okay to heal how you are. And just because you don't see your neighbor's issues doesn't mean they're non-existent. People just cope differently. So bringing about that self-awareness and purposely being intentional about healing, take your own steps and methods to help you heal you.
Amen. I appreciate you. I thank you so much for sharing,
Yeah, you're
because
welcome.
everybody goes through things and everyone's not always willing to share the bad
Mhm.
part. They always want to wait or share the good part or share the victory. And just the fact that you're willing to open up and share with us like that is just so beautiful. Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank
much.
you. Yeah, you're welcome. And also too, this book is really, really. I don't think people in are um. I don't think people are going to understand how graphic this is. I detail domestic violence. This talks about abortion. This talks about domestic violence. It talks about divorce. It talks about relationships with toxic family members. So it really illustrates some difficult times. And I'm not proud of everything in the book. However, I'm shameless because I've done the work. And I've really,
Yes.
really had to hold myself accountable and say, you know what? I made this poor choice and it tore me up. But I picked up myself and made a change in my behavior. And God's grace and favor over my life and accountability allowed me to overcome. And you too can, like I did. And here's the illustration in the manuscript for you. So again, this isn't even for me, it's for somebody else. I just want to utilize the testimonies that I overcame so other people can say, me too. Let's go. Here's a script.
Yep. And that's what this whole platform is be. It's
Yeah.
about. I didn't. This is not just for me. This is for platform for someone like you to be able to share and help. What I'm trying to do is come make it a community. I want this to be a community of people. We're a place where you can come if you got something going on that's good for your community. You want to share the word. Come on, Destined for Greatness, because all we're trying to do is keep it spiritual led. We're trying to keep positive people, and we're trying to uplift people because we all been where you are. We're not judging not one person. We're looking at you right in your face and telling you, I am you, I was you, let's do this. I will reach my hand out and we can take this walk together. But I'm
Yeah.
not going backwards. The key thing is, but I won't go backwards to bring you forward. So you must move forward to come to where I'm going right now.
And that's beautiful. And I like how you said, reach my hand out,
Yeah.
because I'm with you. And I'm not speaking at you, I'm speaking with you.
With you, correct.
And I love the word community, because this isn't a neighborhood, it's a community, a collective,
Uh
a
huh.
culture. And it's so much more family oriented. And that's what we need. We need to be able to have a community to where we can be open, honest, heal, and help one another from a loving standpoint that's solution based. So this is life. So I'm thankful to be here right now. I really am.
and I'm thankful to have you on. Is there anything else you had to ask her, Krista?
Can you share with us your website one more time?
My website is still under construction. It's
Okay.
berealwhileyouheal.com. But what I can do is give my email address, which is
Let's do that.
yes, berealwhileyouheal@gmail.com. Berealwhileyouheal@gmail.com. So if anyone's interested in talking or a consultation, coaching, therapy, counseling, feel free to shoot me an email. As I mentioned, my website is being built. People can come on and book a consultation or make an online appointment. I am certified through LARA, the Board of Counseling, State of Michigan. So
That's
I do
what's
have my
up.
master's. I do have my credentials. This is a professional practice. It is safe. It is full of integrity, and we're trained. So that's what we're here to do. So I just want to make sure I'm honest and share with other people. Like, look, this is what happens to me.
Yeah, that's the point that I like right now. Like even creeping up on hour. I don't want to let you go because there's so many people interested in what you're saying right now. People aren't logging off. People are tuning in because with your story, it's some of the people are at the place that you were at. Like right now, there could be somebody that's a dancer right now that's saying, I don't want this anymore. I want change. There could be somebody right now that's in a domestic violence situation saying, I want out. So what do you say to somebody that's in a position where they want out, but they don't necessarily know how to get out?
I have to be careful when I give suggestions or advice.
Or just how you did it. If we can just do it off your experience.
Facts. Because my first duty is to do no harm. What I will say for me, from my own personal experience, I've been in a domestic violence situation before. I've been in several domestic violence situations. And for me, I didn't understand my worth. I didn't know that this wasn't okay. I knew it wasn't okay, but I didn't take the steps to do anything about it. I didn't understand my worth and know myself or love myself or value myself or respect myself or have enough self-discipline, self-esteem, self-pride, self-dignity to even say this is unacceptable behavior. So well, my situation is a little bit different. Without blame, judgment, evaluation, I think there were several dynamics that played leading up to domestic violence, because no one goes into a relationship thinking, hey, I'm going to be abused. Sometimes things manifest years later. Ayanna Vincent, for example, she went in her marriage years before she was abused. And she was 7 months pregnant when her husband at the time broke her jaw with the bedroom mattress. So, I detail something very, very serious, a serious injury that I experienced from domestic violence in my book. And I'll allow readers to get that, when they get the read. Yes. But what I would say is, for each relationship that the domestic violence continued, little bit by little bit by little bit, I knew I deserved better and better and better. And the more I valued myself and the better relationship I developed with God, those people slowly faded away. And that's when the transition took place, because it took me a while to value myself and love myself. And I'm still working on it, to be very honest. So the more relationship that developed, people would fade away. And the things I desired changed, and the places I used to be at no longer fancied. I didn't want to be around the same people anymore. I didn't want to go to the same places anymore. So, but yeah, domestic violence is serious, and it's not always physical.
Yeah, it could be very easily mental. Mental abuse is a very, very big deal. And also coming from the male perspective of somebody that was in relationships and they weren't healthy. And I chose to have a voice on domestic violence because you have to right your wrongs. The only thing that you can do in life is be honest with self and change self, right? So it's either I can accept who I was, or I can change who I was and try to improve myself and other people not to have that same mentality. So sometimes this is my thing to men. If you have ever done anything wrong like that, you don't have to be ashamed. Just get help, man. You know what I'm saying? And so you can heal so that person can heal. If you really love that person that you hurt, they are going to heal by you getting yourself better to know that you're not going to hurt anybody else. So there's always two sides to it. A lot of times you only hear the one side of it, the female's perspective of the abuse. But what about the men that actually have done it? That voice right there is always being muted for some odd reason. And it's something that needs to be heard, because not everybody was happy about what they did or in the right state of mind, or they might have an underlying borderline issue mentally that they didn't know that they had. So sometimes acknowledging that you have a problem That's how you can get the help. But if you're in complete denial saying, oh, she was this, or she was that, or she did that, you're most likely going to fall into those habits again. So it's about self-accountability. Nobody wants to admit it, but if you did it, you have to own it.
Facts. And also that self-awareness, again, that self-awareness component, because, shout out to Catrice Ferguson. Years ago, she told me hurt people hurt people. Random, getting my hair done randomly. And hurt people do hurt people. And anger is sad's bodyguard. It's fear-based. So there's something that's underlying. And it's not that it's a generational curse. I don't believe in generational curses. I believe in generational behaviors. And once we identify it and name it, we can change the narrative. Because there are people right now who are abusing their husband and or wife and don't like that they do that. And there are many women and men right now in abusive relationships, in marriages, that have been in marriages for a long time and might not leave those because they've committed themselves, but experience this on a daily basis. So you're right. It can be mental abuse. It can be emotional abuse. There can be gaslighting. There can be a different, gamut of emotions that are displayed from a negative disposition. So my goal is for anyone that is in a domestic violence situation right now, I would suggest to pray. However, be safe, be smart, because I would hate to give someone advice and they take it and
they get hurt worse. Yeah.
Because you never know. So we have to be very, very careful. But there's always tools. There's always 800 numbers. There's always books. And there's always opportunities. So,
and also don't be afraid to tell somebody that you're in that situation.
Yeah.
So you don't know what help is out there for you unless you open your mouth and say that I need help.
Yeah.
All right. So on that point, I definitely want to thank you again for coming on. Thank you for all the viewers that have tuned in. It has been an amazing show. So informational. I have two beautiful women here right now, two queens here helping me out with my show. Thank you guys for believing in me to enough to come on my platform, to tell your stories, to be able to help work with me. This has been an amazing experience. I'm going to keep trying to take it to the next level. I definitely hope to have you on here again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, Devin. I appreciate it. And I congratulations on everything you have going on. I know it hasn't been an easy transition, but you're disciplined enough to know to answer the call that God has in your life. So I'm very encouraged to see how far this goes, what you do with your music, maybe utilizing a beat. And I'm just so thankful for the opportunity because you never know where this is going to go. And somebody right now is probably weeping from your testimony right now and mine, getting the healing that they need. So with that being said, thank you, Krista, as well. You're of a beautiful spirit, a beautiful smile. And I'm really, really appreciative for this platform. And again, if anyone wants to purchase Switching Stages, it's on Amazon right now. They're $20. So thank you for your support. And everyone that's in the chat right now, I can't see the names. Peace and blessings. May you be safe right now. May you stay encouraged in your private affairs. Yes. Stay encouraged. Stay encouraged.
Hey, I'm even gonna do you a solid. I think I'm gonna ride out to one of your to a different video. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Just let them know that you do this. Let them part of your word. So let me get to it real quick because I think what you have in your music is very powerful. So what song would you like for me to play? I want you to tell me.
You know what? We're destined for greatness, so we can do Pretty Baby if you'd like.
All right, Pretty Baby it is.
Thank you.
All right, now, so once again, Alexis, Amber, Littlejohn, we destined for greatness. We're going into a music video. Stay tuned.
Yeah, you and I, baby. Yeah. You are my pretty baby. You are my pretty baby. If you leave, I'll follow. Let's go. It really doesn't matter. By your side, I'll roll. Let's roll. You are doesn't matter by your side, let's roll.
Hey, pretty brown eyes, you like a walking fantasy. I love your chocolate brown skin and them white teeth. Got me daydreaming and I'm about to break my abstinence. I must be patient though and exercise some forbearance. Got my attention and you do not use the book or press. I see you flexing, babe, you better than the rest. I love the creases in your jeans and you prepared right. I love your cocoa butter skin and your hair is fire. Your aura's glistening. Plus you love your kids, also a family man. You all about your biz. You got me feeling like Alicia when she met Swiss. Well educated with a style like Jada Kiss. Hope I can make you mine. Hope you ain't got no wife. These other brothers out here can be so trite. But I'm just looking and I'm playing, but I'm kinda not. You charismatic and I'm about to open up that spot.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My pretty baby, my pretty baby. If you leave, I'll follow, let's go. It really doesn't matter by your side, I'll roll.
Hey, pretty smooth skin, you like a message from above. The way you talk, the way you walk, you only give love. Already visualize that we gon' spend some time. Cabernet, Sauvignon, you just like fine wine. I really must admit, baby, you so enriched. Whether in locks or curls, I see you in my world. Let's put this thing in motion, together we'll explore. No rush, let's take it slow. That's how you make real grow.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. My pretty baby, my pretty baby. If you leave, I'll follow, let's go. It really doesn't matter by your side, I'll roll. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We tuning off. Thank you for so much for being on the show. We out of here, y'all.
Peace and blessings.